to comply with those work requirements. I know that states across the country are struggling as we are to meet them. It's not just us. We're not alone.
So maybe somebody else can get us that data, see maybe this is just a national problem and we're not, I guess the other question is, if this new bill that we just started to have an evaluation done, I would guess that there's some people probably in the TANF program who the department will be encouraging to apply for SSI because they are disabled for whatever reason. So I'm just wondering if maybe that's one of the reasons that right now we're not able to meet it, because some of these people actually are disabled and can't work. Is that a sense that you're getting?
What I will do is I'll defer to Beth and the commissioner on that in terms of meeting the workplace requirements. Right now, I think we're doing a good job of meeting the work requirements for our overall TANF population. I think the difficulty that we face is with our two-parent populations, and that's when you heard that about 1 in 9, 1 in 10 of those families are actually meeting their work participation rate requirements right now. We're required to have 90% of those families meeting their participation requirements. We're at 10%. So you can see we have a long way to go.
And that means that both parents have to be working 35 hours a week?
Yep. My recollection is for two-parent families, it is 35 hours per week, I think, for an individual, or there's like a 55-hour combination between the two. And I think Beth can give you the details on that as well.
Yeah, if someone could just give us for the work session, there's the rules on what the families have to do and how much they have to work and what the percentage of the participation has to be, like that rules, that would be very helpful.
Representative Peterson.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Ms. Lusk, for your testimony. In regards to LD 1820, you testified that you've been contacted many times regarding the appearance of Maine PBT cards at Drug Bust in Maine. For the work session from the department, could we please get provided with some hard numbers, some real data around how many of those cards have showed up at Drug Bust?
Yes. The department may not have all of that. I mean, some of that has even been the governor's office. Just people, calling him up. In my discussions with him, he has mentioned it. So I will do my best to get that information for you from a number of sources. Okay?
That'd be great. Yeah,
okay.
If we could speak more about it other than anecdotally, that'd be excellent. Thank you.
Representative Parks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The term able-bodied has been tossed around here considerably today. And it would seem to me that able-bodied really is determined by the job that might be available, because people with different kinds of abilities, or what you might say disabilities, may indeed be able to do jobs that are defined. And I'm wondering why it is that we don't take advantage of the current plan, which is to do a total assessment when somebody comes in, and make that as a way in which we can determine the appropriate jobs and the barriers to getting those jobs and the training that may be required in order to achieve that.
And I think that's something that probably Commissioner Mayhew can speak to more eloquently than I can. I know that with the Employment First legislation, I think that your point is an excellent one, Representative, which is we should be focusing on people's abilities and not their disabilities. And I can say I know a number of people who employ what we might call disabled people, and it doesn't affect work at all. I mean, it is something where everyone has a talent and everyone has a job they can do. And I think that the Commissioner has done a wonderful job, especially working with DOE and DOL, with respect to coming up with that assessment process to figure out not what you can't do, but what can you do. And so I appreciate your point, and I think I'll let her speak to that since she's a little better at it than I am. So, yes. Well, I guess I'm not supposed to call it, but that's your job, Senator.
First, for the number of TANF recipients that are currently in the program and what the history is over time, or can we get that data by tomorrow?
I believe that we can get that data, by tomorrow. I think we're at about, 17,000 people or families right now, Beth?
17,000 individuals.
Okay.
7,700 families.
17,000 individuals and 7,700 families. So I probably shouldn't be calling on the audience right now.
And then you'll get us the history over the last 10 years or whatever.
Do we have the last 10 years, do you think, access? Yes, we can get that for you.
Thank you. Representative Cassidy.
Thank you. What is the average monthly TANF benefit for a family?
I think it depends on family size. I'm going to let the department perhaps tell you that because I don't know the number right off my head, Representative Cassidy, but they probably will be able to tell you. I think, it probably depends on whether you're a single-parent family or a two-parent family. It may depend on whether you have a minor parent. We do have TANF families that have 17-year-old parents or, teenage parents. So I'll let them speak to that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have a question actually, and that is about tracking people who are no longer living in Maine. So I think that if somebody's gone for a year, I don't know how often somebody has to apply for EBT, benefits or for TANF benefits. But I guess I wonder whether you've thought about how to track people, where they are, what they're doing, and that sort of thing. If they're, or how does Minnesota do? It says here that Minnesota has similar program.
Well, what Minnesota, and I apologize, I didn't identify in that paragraph, at least the first state, I believe it was Massachusetts. They're the ones that have said if you're out of the state for, if all of the transactions on your EBT card are out of state for like 60 days, at that point in time, they'll start the process, and it's not as simple as just turning off your card. There are due process concerns at that point in time where they will try to contact that person at their their in-state residence, and determine whether they are out of state for some other reason or in-state or what have you, to determine whether their residency has changed. But at least in Massachusetts, as I recall, it's a rebuttable presumption that the individual has left. With respect to Minnesota, they have said you can use the card, and this is just for everyone. I don't believe they put a time period on it. You can use it in Minnesota or any of the bordering states, and that's it. That's at least how they have worked that issue. So I think that states have, as I said, taken some varying approaches. Minnesota is using the time, cap. I think it was a good way to do it.
Thank you. Other questions for Ms. Lusk? Seeing none, thank you very much.